Good morning. Welcome back for yoga practice. So today we're going to be exploring how to embody, how to remember and then embody what we call the voice of moderation, which is neither the voice of rigidity nor chaos, not the voice of like being punitive with ourselves when we feel like we're kind of veering off course, nor the voice of like rebellion and leniency that's actually permission to overindulge or kind of go off track again. And because these two voices they're kind of balancing each other out, a little bit like salt and sugar. Sometimes we give into the lenient or gentle voice, which is actually a disguise of the like, fuck it voice, I'm going to indulge or do this thing again. We give into that actually knowing that we're going to be picking up on the punishing voice to get ourselves back under control. So if you've had this kind of pendulum in your internal dialogue, then this practice is to help bring that dialogue back to a more moderate place where what we have access to then is like clarity, discernment, wisdom, perspective, context, gentleness, like some appreciation and acceptance for ourselves. And then we're kind of ruddering the boat in our journey from a place where we can actually explore and experience forgiveness and also experience breakthroughs and get free from the voice that's punishing or the voice that's rebelling. So that is my hope, is that you can experience this in your body and have a sense of where you can source that voice from. So to get started, we'll take a comfortable seat. You can rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. And if what I just said kind of bursts your mind into bubbles of curiosity, then allow that to be the case. If you've never considered being free from those voices, let this be like a moment of like, aha and wonder. And as you close your eyes, lengthen up through your spine and take a seat firmly in your hips, your ankles, your feet, however you're sitting, on a chair, on the floor, whatever it is. Come into your sense of you have a place right here in the present moment, connected to the ground beneath you. Breathe into those sensations that remind you where the ground beneath you is. Kind of like reminding you of your personal GPS. Where are you right now? As you breathe into those sensations, now start using the inhale to first kind of touch the ground beneath you, and then raise the breath up through your low abdomen, mid-torso, up into your heart and your collarbones. When you exhale, begin the exhale breath also from the base of the pelvis and gently tone your abdominal muscles so that there's a sense of kind of ushering the exhale out. During the exhalation, keep your heart lifted. It'll feel a little bit lifted and supported on your inhale. So keep a gentle sense of that lift. The exhale is intended to tone the lower belly, not to bring the chest back down. And now, with appreciation for your efforts to commit to a yoga practice, please raise your hands to your heart. And you may bow your head to your heart. And release both hands and open your eyes. So we're going to do a breathing practice right now that helps to address, either right now or in daily life, to address the brain fog that can come from this confusing and even conflicting, like be more rigid. No, rebel more often. You have permission to indulge. Okay, we're going to get that under control. That is causing these like crazy signals that go back and forth between these two voices in the brain and in the mind. And that can also lead to a kind of like confusion and brain fog. And we end up feeling anxious. So then we just make the decision, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to indulge and I'm going to make up for it later. It's kind of like ending the restlessness between the two voices because that restlessness feels intolerable. So we end up indulging and then we have to make up for that later. So these breathing practices are to help us kind of overcome those moments of pressure, right? So as you're sitting up straight right now, we're going to do 10 brisk inhalations. And this is like inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. We'll do this 10 times. We're clearing out the body. At the end of that, we're going to inhale, exhale, relax. Okay, so like this. Now inhale. And exhale like you're sighing. Relax. We're going to repeat that. So, of course, at your own pace. The brisk inhale through the nose, brisk exhale through the nose with your own capacity, your own quantity of breath. Now inhale slowly. And exhale really slowly. Deeply relaxed. Don't entertain any thoughts right now. And we're going to do the same thing one more time. So it's 3 rounds for this at your pace. We inhale really slowly. And exhale, almost like sighing. Let the breath go. And don't entertain any thoughts right now. Just rest in the kind of silence that comes from that practice. Now, bring the first 2 fingers into the center of your palm. Using your thumb and your ring finger, partially close both nostrils. That's going to require your body to use the diaphragm in a drawing down technique so that the inhale comes in very slowly. Don't make yourself breathless, but also have some confidence that you can do it. The breath is going to fill the first third, middle third, include the upper third of the breath. At the top of this long, slow inhale, we're going to hold the breath for a moment and then completely relax. So bring your hand up. Begin your inhale when you're ready to. After a brief pause, you're going to exhale to release that completely. We're going to repeat that. So bring your hand up and just partially close each of the nostrils. And again, exhale to relax. And we'll do this one more time. So each of these breath practices you do 3 times. So partially close the nostrils, breathe in when you're ready to. And release from the practice with deep relaxation. Now interlace your fingers and take the heels of the hands straight up towards the ceiling. So the voice of moderation, which we might call it that, is really the voice of the middle path. The middle path, moderation in this case refers to moderating between the intense punitive voice and the intense rebellious voice. So, hello, Nakula. Hi. Oh, you're all is well, honey. You're going to be okay. Yes, that's great. Okay, so this voice of the middle path is like, it's centering, it's grounding, it brings wisdom and perspective. We actually can feel reassured by our own inner wisdom and a kind of deep knowing. But when you exhale here, press out to the sides of the room and give yourself the space that you need, the time that you need for these kinds of voices to settle down and for your clear voice to come through. Inhale, raise your right arm up alongside your right ear. Place your left hand to the side. And as you side bend to your left, expand on the right rib cage here. So root into your right hip. Breathe into the right hemisphere of the torso. And let's make the breath smooth. So there's already a kind of chaperoning of an internal ecology of kindness and presence, a kind of more flexible mind, not just a flexible body. When you next inhale, raise up to center, raise the left arm as well. And then again, exhale, press out and ask those voices that are punitive or rebellious, critical or chaotic, ask them to settle down. And then inhale, raise your left arm up, side bend to your right. Let's keep the left hip grounded. And breathe into the left side of your torso. the left rib cage. And again, let's encourage the breath to be smooth, nourishing. So you're creating that attitude, not just for the physical body, but also for your mental body. And then inhale, raise up to center. Also raise your right arm. And exhale, press out and ask those voices to quiet down. Reach back behind you and interlace your fingers. Roll the shoulders back. Give a good squeeze to your upper back. And as you squeeze like that, if it's possible to touch your knuckles to the floor behind you, go ahead and use the floor. But think about not shrinking back or falling back. So it's okay if you want to put your knuckles on a block or a blanket or to put something under them behind you. And then lift your chest, your heart, open your throat. In this upward action here, in this gesture, let's think of it like the longing we have to be free from those voices that are kind of like harassing and intrusive. To be, frank about it, they're harassing and intrusive. And then exhale, bring your head to neutral, release the clasp of your hands, and take a seat for a moment here. Now, since each of those voices actually has some like inherent instinct in them, the voice that's punitive and kind of like trying to control you again is actually a voice looking for structure and safety and certainty and consistency. And yet the voice that's like rebellious and chaotic and wants to indulge and like, we don't need a plan, forget it, we're going to, follow our own whimsy and free will. That voice is actually looking for novelty and freedom and permission. So let's take the left hand across to the right knee. Walk your right hand around behind you, place it on the floor or a block. And as you twist to your right, think about the qualities that are inherently good in this voice that actually wants freedom or creativity or novelty, the voice that doesn't want to be compressed or held down by that hypercritical voice. So just think about what's really being asked for there as you rotate to your right. Now, of course, the longing for freedom, that is across our species and other species too. But it can also feel very scary to those of us for whom freedom is like the unknown. And so just gently lean into, as you breathe, lean into the idea that there is a longing inside of us for freedom, and that's natural. And then exhale, come around to face forward, rest your hands in your lap. Give yourself permission to feel stabilized. So yes, freedom can also include this kind of like unknown frontier. However, it's also freedom from the oppression of the other voice. You bring your right hand across to your left knee. Take your left hand behind you as you twist to your left. Now, considering that this other voice, as I'm referring to it, is really a longing for stability and safety and consistency, a kind of a longing for some sense of order, right? So in that regard, as you rotate to your left, look over your left shoulder. It's also okay to close your eyes. Just feel into what it would be like to have more order or sanity, to have a bit of a sense of assurance, stability. That in one more time. And then exhale and come around to center. And let's imagine that these two qualities, one of order and safety and one of freedom and permission, that they could meet in the middle. to give that another layer deep into the physical body, let's put the cushion or the blanket aside that you're sitting on, wherever that has to go for you to be in your space. Bend both knees. Bring your feet up so your feet are going to be flat on the floor, something like this. Place your hips and sitting bones firmly on the ground. And turn the left hand up toward the ceiling. Take the right hand behind you so your fingers are going to point backwards. There you go. Inhale, raise up through your left arm. Roll the right shoulder back. And then exhale, cross your left forearm over your right knee and twist to your right. Let's keep both sitting bones grounded so your physical pose has a quality of stability. And as you're rotating to your right, consider the quality of freedom or permission, the ease that you want to grant yourself in your life and in your recovery. And then exhale, come around to face forward. Stretch both arms out over your knees. There's going to be like a little recalibration in your body there. Now take the left hand behind you. Turn your fingers to point backwards. Inhale, raise your right arm up. And exhale, twist to your left. Cross your right forearm over your left thigh. And as you're twisting, look over your left shoulder. And let's consider the kind of inherent longing for and value of order or stability or clarity. And breathing that in, with your next exhale, rotate back around to face forward. Rest your arms out over your knees. Okay, let's take both hands behind. This time, turn your fingers to point towards your hips. Roll your shoulders back. And as you roll your shoulders back, bend your elbows a little bit to give some ease to your wrists. Squeeze the shoulders back, bring your chest and heart up. Open your throat. As you're breathing in and breathing out, make the breath smooth and comforting. So even the breath can be a source of reassurance, source of grounding, and also a source of ease or freedom, permission to breathe and be a whole person with a body, a mind, and a heart. And to be a person who is in process, right? You don't have to be a finished product right now. Let's breathe in one more time. And then exhale, bring your head up and stretch both legs out straight, like this. And then take a wide seat and come forward. So in contrast to the back bend, we're going to walk forward. Relax the weight of your head and your heart. So we have poses that encourage us to go upwards and outwards, and then poses that bring us downward and inward. Energize both legs and listen for the internal sense of grounding or stability in this pose. And then please walk your hands back towards your knees, rise up to sitting. Go ahead and cross your legs. Take your cushion or blanket to sit on if you need to. Just come for a moment back to your starting seat and check in and see how are things feeling. It's natural to long for freedom and order, to want spontaneity and also safety. Does not need to turn into chaos or rigidity. And let's explore this. We're going to come up to standing. As you rise up to stand, it's going to be helpful for some of you to use yoga blocks for your hand to reach the floor. So go ahead and take 2 blocks. Rise up to a wide stance that'll be the length of one leg, and the blocks go beneath your hands like this. Now, as you energize both legs, the blocks are here to help you reach the floor comfortably. Not everyone has the same flexibility or, of course, body dimensions. So when you come forward, if the blocks are helpful, then you're going to keep them there. You could also put them on the flat setting. You could also decide that you're someone whose flexibility is similar to mine, kind of a natural flexibility to come down into a forward bend. As you come down, please relax the weight of your head and think of this as an inward and downward pose, a pose that builds your inner sense of reliability with yourself or trustworthiness in yourself. Now making the breath smooth and also deep, the breath comes down into the pelvis. Let's do 3 more breath cycles. Every time that you kind of chaperone the breath to be more smooth or more nourishing, you're creating the internal leadership that becomes your ability to get grounded anywhere, anytime in daily life. Now shift your hands to your hips, and as you inhale, rise up to standing. Okay. Let's turn the left heel slightly out to the left, turn the right foot directly out to the right. Okay. Join your hands together at your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. Again, clear out this space. You can kind of claim the space to your left and your right. It's your space, and those voices, you can ask them not to intrude right now. And then exhale, bend your right knee and come into warrior 2. And as you come down, you want to have a sense that your right thigh, the knee is vertical to your heel. Your thigh does not need to be parallel to the floor. Could be, doesn't need to be. Take your gaze to the right and breathe deeply into your pelvis. And try to get a sense in warrior 2 as you're gazing to the right, that you're seeing yourself granting permission, that you have some ease, some flexibility, the voice of the middle path. You're allowed to be sort of sensible, discerning, and wise with yourself. Freedom from the voice of, let's say, punishment or rigidity. With your next inhale, rise up to center, bring your palms together, make the feet parallel. Let's turn the right heel slightly out, turn the left foot directly out. Inhale, both arms wide. Claim your space and then bend your left knee. So again, the heel and the knee are going to be pretty much vertical there. Gaze out over your left fingertips. Try to give yourself, again, granting permission that we do have a need for stability, for assurance, for consistency. And so come into your wise middle path mind and see yourself having some sanity and clarity today. Your next inhale, again, bring your palms together, straighten your left leg. Let's make the feet parallel. And once more, come down to your standing forward bend. And as you come down, it might be that the pose is a little bit more flexible, having been in the warrior 2 pose. That may not be the case, so don't have expectations, but enjoy it if it happens. As you come down once more, energize your feet and your legs and your hips and breathe deeply into your pelvis. And then shift your hands to your hips. Please rise up to standing, and we're going to go heel toe back into center. And when you come to mountain pose, stand at ease in your plumb line, this plumb line right here. Try to picture yourself being in the middle path on this day. You don't have to get it all done. You don't have to postpone everything. You can step off the sort of treadmill or the Ferris wheel of life and be in your wise, discerning, thoughtful, pragmatic self. Let's take a yoga strap, please. And with the yoga strap, if you can put a loop into it. So the loop, mine is already made because I had taught a previous class. So the loop is going to be shoulder width apart. So you put the strap through both buckles and then back through just one buckle. And when you get your loop, you want that to be shoulder width. Then take this loop and put it behind you. Put your hands in there. So what you're going to end up doing is having the hands inside the loop like this, and then press both shoulders back, squeeze your arms back, lift your chest and heart. Yeah, so it has this kind of feeling of like a back bend in the upper back. And as you're doing that with the upper back, take a wide stance again. Press the shoulders back, lift your chest and your heart, open your throat. You breathe in again. And then exhale and come forward and down. Keep the strap to the best of your ability. Take the arms overhead. Relax the weight of your head, but squeeze the shoulder blades up away from your neck and your head. Now inhale deeply. And then with the next in-breath, rise up to standing and look up again. And then exhale, bring your head to level, release the strap, and step your feet back to center. As you relax, let the arms hang down. They might be a little bit warmer. They might tingle a little bit. You're kind of releasing the energy. We could even say the energy of those oppressive voices that keep us in that negative feedback loop. Now take the tail of the strap. So you've got all this space. If you've got a long strap, you've got a lot of space. So take the tail of the strap, put your hands on the tail at shoulder width, raise both arms up. Slide your hands down the strap until you can come down into this chest opening, shoulder opening position, right? So you've got each palm faces up. Try not to cock the wrists backwards, but to keep them so your palms face up. Yep, squeeze the shoulders back, lift your heart. Take a wide stance. Now with your arms in the strap like this, stabilize your feet, legs, and hips. So we need stability. It's one of the things we long for, is that sense of grounding. At the same time, lift the chest and the heart, like a longing for freedom, right? Now with the next exhale, slide your hands down from the strap. And once more, bow forward. Place the strap on the floor behind you. And notice if the breath feels like more naturally deep in the pelvis. And does the breath also include your chest and your heart? Okay, pick up your strap and bring it with you as you rise up to standing. Take the strap around in front one more time. So what you're going to have here is you hold the strap so it's shoulder width apart. Okay, raise the arms up. Now, as you take the arms behind you this time, make the torso strong. We're not going to look up right now. So keep the legs stable, keep the pelvis and the belly stable, and rotate your chest and heart to your right. Give the left arm a little bit of responsibility to pull on the strap. So you've just really turned your upper back, chest, and heart. And then exhale back to center. Now keep the right arm strong and use the right arm to help you twist to your left. My cat is interested in the strap. Hi, honey. Okay. Again, lift the chest and the heart, but keep your pelvis and your legs stable. So we didn't move the feet, we haven't moved the legs. And then exhale, come back to center. And loosen the strap and step your feet together, come to mountain pose and take notice. The energy that you're unleashing in the body is the energy that gets held down by that negative feedback loop of those voices. So the freedom we're looking for sometimes when we say, fuck it, I'm going to go indulge in the behaviors I want to indulge in, whatever they happen to be, the self-limiting behaviors. The freedom we're looking for in that moment isn't actually freedom, it's rebellion. And at some point, that rebellion is pushing us backwards. It's keeping us stuck. So freedom is something other than that. Take a deep breath in. Okay, now we're going to set the strap aside. And please take your 2 blocks and turn towards the front of your yoga mat. In this case, the blocks, I find them to be really helpful. So you can always, of course, decide for yourself. And if you don't have blocks, you could substitute something that is a suitable support to you. So stepping to the front of your mat, this will be the front of my mat, even though it's a round mat. Please join your hands to your heart. And then inhale, take the palms facing down, forward and up. You reach up like an arrow, look up on your chest and your heart and your throat. With the next inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes, keeping your balance. And then exhale, lower your heels, sweep the arms wide and come forward and down into Uttanasana. Inhale, glide your heart forward, raise up to your fingertips. Exhale, step the left toes back. Touch your left knee down. If the floor needs padding, please go ahead and put a blanket under your knee. I have a pretty padded floor here right now. Okay, root down. Inhale, raise up with your chest and your heart. If possible, hook your thumbs, point up like an arrow. It's kind of a gesture of the freedom that you long for, but the stability that we need to reach into that freedom from. And then exhale, sweep the arms wide as you come down to touch the 2 blocks. Use your fingertips and your thumb tips. Curl the left toes under and slowly straighten your left leg and then your right leg. You bow over the right leg. And then bend your right knee and take a big step forward with your left foot. Exhale, bow towards the legs. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, come down to the heart. Okay, pointing the fingers down. Inhale, down, forward, and up. And then tippy toe, keeping your balance. And exhale, lower your heels down, sweep the arms wide, come forward and down, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, take the right toes back, touch your right knee down to the floor. Again, put padding under your knee if you need to. Press firmly into your foundation and lift your inner body, your chest, your heart, your arms, your gaze. As you're breathing in, try to do the most smooth and nourishing breath for yourself. And then exhale, sweep your arms wide. And as you touch the blocks with your fingertips and your thumb tips, tuck the right toes under. Straighten your right leg slowly. Straighten the left leg as well to the best of your ability. And bow over your left leg. And then bend the left knee and take a big step forward with your right foot. Bow towards the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, upward hand fold. And exhale, hands down to the heart, mountain pose. If things are feeling there for you, right? That's a little bit more energizing right now. And sometimes when we're feeling like we need more order or more control, more safety, getting energized can feel a little bit scary because it's opening us back up to emotions or possibilities. And if we felt like we had strayed too far, now we need this rigid control, opening up to possibilities can feel kind of scary. But here, as we're practicing yoga, we're moving the breath, the body together with a mindful and loving attitude. So opening up to possibilities, it's like opening up to the possibility of handling this wisely and well today. It doesn't have to be the way that we have previously seen. Opening up to possibilities becoming like we start going rogue or we run off of the path we had set for ourselves. So it can be more of a feeling of ease and less pressure as you go about the day. Right, so let's step into one more time, same thing, and think of it like you're opening up to the possibility of balancing between these voices that are so conflicted and keep you in that negative feedback loop. Okay, so palms together. And then inhale down, forward, and up. Okay, tippy toe, keeping your balance. And then exhale, lower your heels, sweep the arms wide, come down into your forward bend. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, left toes back, left knee down. Keep your right heel grounded as you inhale, raise up with your heart, your arms, and your gaze. And then exhale, sweep the arms wide, touch the blocks. Inhale, straighten your left leg and your right leg. And exhale to bow over your right side. Okay, bend your right knee. Take a big step forward, or take many small steps if you need to. And as you exhale, bow towards the legs. Squeeze the breath out. Okay, inhale, glide your heart forward. We'll go right to the other side. Bend both knees. Take the right toes back, excuse me. Oh, I guess that is for you, that might be your left. Do the other leg. And then inhale, rise up. Again, keep your front heel grounded and lift through the inner body. And then exhale, sweep your arms wide, touch the blocks with your fingertips, and straighten the left leg and your right leg, bow over your front leg. And then bend your front knee and take a big step forward. Exhale to bow towards the legs, root into your heels and your toes. Inhale, rise up, sweep your arms wide, lift up, look up. And then tippy toe. And then exhale, lower your heels, lower the arms. Bring your hands back to your heart in mountain pose. And maybe on the inside, you could ask, like, can I grant myself permission today to have a little more inner confidence, inner trustworthiness? Can I be reliable to myself? And I'm going to ask you to come down to the floor, and I have my water glass set over here. So let me get the come down to the floor, please. And I'd like you to have a blanket to cover up with. If possible, you have another blanket or a bolster like I have here. And also 2 blocks. And if you don't have 2 blocks, it's of course Understandable, not everybody has yoga props at home, but there are ways to vary that. So one thing might be to use pillows from the bed or from the couch. Give yourself the extra support. You're going to see that it's for the knees. Okay, so a blanket to cover up with, a bolster. Now, for some of you, when you lie backwards on a folded blanket like this is an option like this, right? When you lie back, if your upper back has been stiff or the shoulders are a little bit tight and you lie back like this, it might feel too like your head's going to be going back and you'll long for a pillow under the head. That is also fine. We don't want the head to feel like it's falling backwards. So what you might do is put a bolster and then a blanket like this, right? And then we've got our 2 blocks for the knees and the blanket to cover up with. And I am very lucky that I have a weighted blanket. I love to cover up with my weighted blanket. And take a sip of water if you've been needing to hydrate. Or if you've been teaching a yoga class, right? So I'd like you to sit in front of the bolster, in front of the blanket. Don't sit on it directly. So there's a space between my hips and the bolster. And then we take the blanket we're going to cover up with, in this case, my weighted blanket. That's going to go over your feet. Now, before we lie back, the 2 blocks are at the ready. So it goes like this. You lie back, bend both knees. Make sure your head has support. Okay, and then we take the soles of the feet, put them together, and the blanket magically is there for your feet, ankles, torso, like this. Okay, and then go ahead and close your eyes. This is a really important yoga pose. Don't leave this out. This is really important because this is where your body gets to have a new baseline, a new foundation. You're going to rest into the inner self. Close your eyes. Relax the muscles of your face and your forehead, space between your eyebrows. Relax the corners of your eyes. Soften your cheeks and relax the hinge of your jaw, left side and right side. Allow your tongue to be deeply at ease, the bottom of your mouth. And imagine relaxing the inner ear canal, right side and left side. Relax the muscles on the sides of your neck. In any way you're able to, release at the base of your skull. Allow the shoulders to get heavier, more deeply relaxed. And release the burden of the unhelpful thought cycles. Relax the unhelpful mental loops. The arms to get heavier and also more deeply relaxed. And as that occurs, invite your heart to be lighter, more spacious, more at ease. And deeply relax the solar plexus, your floating ribs. And relax down into your abdomen. Now release the weight of the hips and the pelvis, and let the sense of grounding or groundedness become deeper yet again. Give yourself the gift of deep relaxation. Allow the relaxation to go a few degrees deeper one more time. Let it become very permeating for your whole body, your mind, and your heart. And respecting that when you come inside, sometimes your body is going to need more rest from you. Again, in the course of the day, you're not going to be led by the frenzy, nor by the exhaustion. And you can slightly wiggle your fingers and your toes, roll your head side to side. And we'll take the blanket, remove, bring the knees up, start the legs out straight initially, and you're going to sense how the circulation gets redistributed in your body. And we're going to bend one knee at a time. Put any blocks that are in the way aside. And please roll to your side. And bring yourself up to sitting. And when you come up to your seat, I'd like you to find your place. Turn to your seat. It's a way of checking back in with yourself. I might have a cat coming in. Let's see. So rest your hands in your lap. Hi, Nakula, you came back. Where's your family? Oh, hi, Bindi. Hi. Hello. Yes. Hi. Okay, so when you come into your seat, what we want to sense is now as you arrive in your body, your mind, even your heart on this yoga practice. Okay, where is the middle path voice? Where is that voice of the middle path? It's a voice of wisdom, discernment, equanimity, clarity, forgiveness, focus. Based on that inner voice of the middle path, you can raise your hands to your heart. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Namaste. Now, if you have enjoyed this practice or you have questions about this practice, please do use the comments below the video. You can ask questions there or make comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll get notified when more videos come out. It's also wonderful if you hit like on some of the videos that are working for you, because that gives me feedback about what else to offer to you. So all of that being said, thank you once again for being here. Okay, namaste.